See, before all this wahala, I was a young nigga, big boy, dabbling in the pool of power. 19. 19.
Whoa! And that thing is a movie! Yes!
Is it running around with this guy?
Are beautiful and very patient. Yeah, wow. Better still.
Oh.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Cineverse, and I am your host as usual. My name is Bulwatife Uniosho. Now, the movie up for review today is one I wanted to do a couple of days before now, but I wanted other people to watch it as well so they'd be able to understand the things I point out about the movie. Now, with that being said, the movie for review today is a psychological noir thriller titled La Femme Anjola. Let's talk about it. The story revolves around a young male stockbroker whose life is turned upside down when he falls for a femme fatale married to a wealthy gangster. So basically, this young stockbroker, who's also a trumpeter, falls in love with Anjola, who is a performer and a songstress and the lead singer to the band in which he joined, and she's also married to the gangster who happened to own the club which they perform. This movie was released in cinemas on the 19th of March 2021, directed by Mildred Okwo, screenplay by Tunde Babalola, and starring Rita Dominic, Nonsibasi, and a host of others. FYI, this movie took 5 years to make, and it's not because they just decided to dilly-dally about it, but because they were trying to make it as perfect as possible, and also they were under financial constraints. So you know the drill. I talk about the movie generally, then I talk about the things I like in the movie and the things I do not like, or that I think could be improved on. First off, let's talk about the elements that were employed in telling the story. And I'm starting with the opening sequence because the opening sequence drew me in already. I wanted to know how they got to where they were and what were the events that led up to that part of the movie. What were the events that led up to that circumstance? And by the time I got to the end of the film, I was quite glad that there weren't so much filler scenes, because filler scenes are parts of the movie that serve no real purpose other than to either slow things down dramatically or to speed things up so that they can get to the end of the film or whatnot. But I'm glad that there wasn't a lot of that. And as I noticed, they minimally used flashbacks because as much as they wanted to tell the backstory of a particular character, let me put, our main character, when they wanted to give us an insight into her backstory and everything, they mostly did that with the dialogue and the monologue, with her talking about her backstory and telling us about how she came to be where she is and how it influenced her insight and outlook towards life. At some point, I noticed they used some rapid cuts, and I am so glad that some of the scenes were not too dragged out, because believe me, then it'd be absolutely boring. But I'm glad they did not really do that, at least not until the third act, and even there, they didn't do much of that. One of the things I like to look out for and I absolutely love about movies, or should I say some movies, is let's just say sometimes the color grading or the kind of light effects they use, because here we had a lot of dark kind of scenes. I won't say dark scenes in context of actions, but just setting the lightning and everything, and it kind of adds an intensity to the character or the story itself, because I feel if it was too bright, it wouldn't have conveyed the message or tell the story with as much intensity as they wanted it to. Another thing I did like in this movie is that it's not predictable at all. Because believe me, by the time I was done watching the movie, there were things that happened. I was like, okay, I did not see that coming from a mile away. I could not have guessed that was what was going to happen, but it did. And I think that's part of the beauty of the film itself. And another thing is the costuming. I mean, come on, the costumier did an amazing job. And not only with Rita Dominic or Nonsibasi, but other cast as well. And yes, I really liked it because it actually blended into the scenes. Oh, sorry, let me not use the word blended. It complemented the story, the scenes, the plot, the storyline, the settings, and everything like that. Like I said before, the intricate plot twist is actually one of the reasons why I do love the movie. And I feel like I can actually watch this movie once or twice or thrice. But I do love the kind of film that it is. It's not the usual, or should I say, it's not the usual drama that we get to, watch sometimes. And can we talk about the cast? Rita Dominic did an amazing job of embodying the character of Anjola, either when she was acting it out via the dialogues and the monologues, or whichever one, or when she was acting it out while performing as a singer. She really gave a vibe of a femme fatale in the movie, and not only her, the character of Nonso Bassey also did an amazing job, especially when he's looking at Angela like a man stuck in a desert who finally found an oasis. And let's not talk about Femi Jacobs. That man's acting, or should I say performance, gets me every single time. I did love it. For Sean Farquhar, at that time I didn't even know it was Sean Farquhar. I had to look very much closely, and then I was like, okay, makeup, you did good. Because at first I did not even know that was Sean Farquhar. And Moby Maina also did an amazing job. Though I will be honest, I felt a tiny, when I say tiny, I mean almost a speck of a disconnect. Especially, okay, there's going to be a little bit of spoiler here. Yes, I know I promised spoiler free, but just a tiny bit. Especially when she confronted the character of Nonso Bassey about in quote his infidelity and whatnot. So only there, but other than that, I feel they really did good. I mean, come on, why would they do good? It's like a 5-year work in progress. So yes, they did amazingly. Okay, with that being said, let's go straight to the things that I am not so much a big fan of, what I did not like in the movie, which is not really much, by the way. First things first, I do like the fact that some parts, let me just say some parts in the dialogue were a tad bit cringeworthy, just a tad bit. You know when you're talking with someone and you're like, okay, it's getting good, it's getting interesting, this is sounding really good, and then when they're at that point you're like, oh, okay, I think it's okay, don't stretch it out, it's okay like that, but they just keep going. So yes, I think in some parts, yes, that happened, and I was like, ugh. Then also by the time they got to the last act, that's the final act, and like I said before, the first act, second act, yeah, I didn't have any issues per se. But towards the last one, let's just say I won't say it went downhill, but things were just a little bit too dragged out. Yes, I felt some things were not necessary. Like I said, I'm trying not to give you spoilers, but I just felt some things were not necessary, and it might have ended in it having a different ending. But all in all, that doesn't mean the movie is, being dragged down or is not good or far from it. But I just felt some things were a bit dragged out, because believe me, this movie, if you can sit through this very long movie, then I'm sure those of you that watched what's the name of this movie, this DC movie, this Zack Snyder's cut, but y'all shouldn't be complaining. That thing is 4 hours long. So y'all should be complaining if you watch that, because this is 2 hours plus. But all in all, I would say the movie is a good one. I liked it. I like the characters. I like the story. I just liked a lot of things about the movie. The plot of this movie was in no way linear at all. There's some really, really spicy, steamy shots here. So if you're a fan of cunning lead females or femme fatales or crime thrillers or crime psychological thrillers or whatever, crime drama even, I think this would be for you. But if you're a fan of comedy mostly, or something that has humor, a whole lot of romance, well, this might not be for you. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't watch the movie anyway, because I feel you totally enjoy it. In all, if you're going to watch this movie and you have kids with you, please remember to cover their ears or their eyes, because we cannot be held responsible for anything that happens after. Anyway, there are some steamy scenes that you should try as much as possible to not let children watch. In finality, I do not think there's anything I would have wanted to change in the movie, except probably the ending, because I just felt it was a tad bit unrealistic, but at the same time, that's why it's a film. You're allowed to tell the story whichever way, as far as it's a bit plausible. All right, guys, that's it, and we go straight to this interesting part of the review where I give you my ratings for the movie. So, drum roll, please. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, that's not how it goes. But anyways, on a scale of 1 to 10, I will be giving this movie I will be giving it an 8 for plot, for storyline, for just keeping me immersed. Yes. And honestly, for a movie that had 2 locations, Lagos, Nigeria, and South Africa, at least 2 different places in South Africa, they had to juggle from Lagos to South Africa, and according to what I heard, also due to financial constraints, and yes, it taking 5 years, I can understand how the movie came out the way it did, because I did like it, don't get me wrong, so I did like how it came out, and I hope that you do enjoy it too. So go watch it at any cinema near you. We'd like to know what you think about the movie in our comment sections. If there's something you think I missed, you can add it in the comment section. And if there's also a movie you'd like us to review or something you'd like to bring to my notice, you can also do that on every of our social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. On Instagram at cameraboy.tv, Facebook at cameraboyofficial, Twitter at cameraboytvng, and also like and subscribe to our videos on YouTube. Please click that subscribe button, share, comment, like, let us know what you think also. And you can hit me up on my personal page on Instagram at swatife_ONI, same thing on Facebook and Twitter. Until next time, guys.
She's married to the boss. Oh, this is ridiculous. Come on, I just play sax here.
You're not playing sax. You're playing sex. S-E-X.
You are the one banging my wife.
Listen to me. You must.
I wish I could take risks and leave Odera to be with you.
What happened?
Odera got upset.
And he beat you like this?
So they rush me. Bitch shit they come off from my body.
When I pay for a service, I expect delivery.
Do you know how we catch chimpanzees in Adamawa?
We can't be together.
It could be if Odera wasn't around. If he was dead.
I don't know. There's got to be another way.
There is no other way.
Femme Anjola.